Wow, welcome back, my old friends. Ever squeeze off a round and think, no way that was a semi-auto? Well, you better believe it. These handguns are running so darn fast, they'd make a machine gun turn red in the face. Here in the year 2025, pistol tech isn't just keeping pace, it's flat out leaving the rest in the dust. We're talking recoil so mild you barely flinch, split time so quick they'll make your shot timer whistle, and enough new ideas to have your old Glock sulking in the safe. Doesn't matter if you're shooting in matches, packing for protection, or just get a kick out of dumping a mag faster than a northern wind. This right here's a list bound to put a big old grin on your face, like you stumbled onto full auto by accident. So, cinch down that grip, fill up your magazines, and let's start counting off the fastest shooting handguns you'll find anywhere. We're not taking the slow road here. We're starting off with a real heavy hitter, the Springfield Armory Echelon sits at number 12, and believe me, it's not just here to keep the bench warm. This polymer-framed critter might be new on the scene, but it's already swinging way above its weight. The Echelon rolls out Springfield Central Operating Group, a modular fire control piece that lets you set the whole pistol up just how you want it. Swapping grip modules is about as simple as changing your shirt after a long day's work. Toss in a low-bore axis, an optimized recoil spring, and a grip angle that keeps your muzzle flatter than a flapjack on branding day, and you've got yourself one serious speed rig. The trigger's got a short take-up, breaks clean, and resets quick. It just about begs you to let it run. And don't get me started on Springfield's variable interface system. You can pop on just about any optic without messing with adapter plates. What that means is you're quicker from holster to dot and a whole lot faster from dot to hitting your mark. And if this is what's coming in at number 12, you can already guess the kind of wild stuff waiting up ahead. This isn't some cookie-cutter top 5 list. This is a wide-open, no-reins countdown of the quickest shooting handguns you can lay hands on in the year 2025. These aren't just plinking toys. These are hard-running, high-performance pistols made for folks who eat up speed, crush it in competition, or just want their split times measured in thousandths of a second. Some look straight out of the future. Some are old school, but tuned to run like a dream. Either way, every last one of them brings the fire. So settle in, load up your mags, and keep those eyes peeled. We're just getting rolling, and the next 11 make the Echelon look like a little warm-up jog. You want real muscle? The FN 510 Tactical is your workhorse V8 in a parking lot full of hybrids. This 10mm brute doesn't just send lead downrange, it fires it off like it's aiming to rattle the whole planet. But here's the kicker, even though it's chambered in that hard-hitting round known for putting your wrists to work. This rig shoots quick and flat, almost like FN, slipped a little frontier magic under the hood. What you get is a full-size polymer frame matched with a 4 7/100-inch threaded barrel, all set for a compensator or suppressor if you want to really settle her down. You've got 2 magazine options, 15 rounds if you want to keep things tidy, or 22 rounds if you're feeling bold. That's 22 rounds of 10mm, just let that soak in for a second. And with FN's smart recoil setup, beefy spring, well-balanced slide weight, and a grip angle that just fits right, you're not getting battered when you run it fast. The tactical touches are just extra on top of this powerhouse, slide cut for optics, suppressor height night sights right out of the box, and fully ambidextrous controls. This pistol was built to go hard, whether you're running drills on the range or gearing up for whatever wild thing tomorrow might throw your way. When I had the FN 510 Tactical in my hands, it felt like a tank itching to break into a sprint. I was stacking holes in the target, follow-up shots landing tight and right where I aimed. If you're after a sidearm that brings both flat-out speed and raw muscle and doesn't even blink when you push it to the edge, this one's got your name stamped clear as day. Now this next one's for the folks who flat-out chase speed for the thrill of it. The Walther PDP Match didn't just stroll into the competition world, it came in swinging, kicked the door clean off its hinges, and dared every other pistol in the place to step up. Built on Walther's already top-notch PDP foundation, the Match version cranks everything up a gear, longer slide, extra barrel length, balance so good it feels like it's floating in your hand, and hands down one of the slickest factory triggers you'll find in any striker-fired pistol out there. Let's start with the straightforward stuff. Chambered in 9mm, it runs a 5-inch barrel that stretches out your sight radius, giving you better accuracy and letting you move from target to target quicker. The slide's ready for optics cut deep so you can co-witness a red dot, and it's got those bold serrations that make racking and clearing feel downright purposeful. The frame's texture is all about grip. It locks into your palm, but won't chew up your hand, so you stay locked in even when you're pushing the speed drills hard. Now, the trigger's something else. There's barely any take-up. It breaks crisp and clean, and the reset snaps right back, just begging you to run it like an old-timey sewing machine. It's the kind of trigger that flat out makes you faster. Throw in those 18-round magazines, and that just right balance in your grip. And the PDP Match turns into a silky smooth, laser-true shooter that'll have you feeling like you've been at this for years. Even if you're just out plinking for fun, I took it for a spin on a steel plate rack at 15 yards, and honest to goodness, it felt like the gun was reading my mind. No fighting, just flowing. And once you mount a red dot and feel that flat recoil working in your favor, it's like the gun wants you to win. Number 9. Hands down, this thing's a real beast. Coming in at number 8, we've got something that darn near shouldn't exist, but boy, am I glad it does. Say hello to the Beretta 92X Squallo. Squallo means shark over in Italy, and I'll tell you what, it earns that name every bit. It's sleek, it's mean, and it chews through target transitions like chum in a feeding frenzy. Beretta took their legendary 92 platform and gave it a full-on race gun overhaul, all without stripping away what makes it special. What you end up with is a single-action-only powerhouse built for pure speed and tight control. Let's break it down for you. You're getting a full steel frame, weighted right where it matters most, so muzzle rise just about disappears. That new Extreme S trigger system is one of the finest setups Beretta's ever dropped in a pistol light. Crisp, with a reset so short you'll feel like it's daring you to shoot faster. Up front, there's a fiber optic sight. Rear's fully adjustable, and you've got a full-length dust cover with a pick rail for whatever you want to tack on this thing. Means business. As for looks, full blackout finish with blood red touches. It's dressed like it's ready for a brawl on the competition line. But it's not just about looks. What really sells it is the way it runs in your hands. No bounce, no wandering. It locks in and charges straight ahead. Recoil comes straight back, and the slide cycle's smoother than a sled on fresh snow. It's got enough heft to stay planted, but still feels lively and agile, and it's quick enough to make your shot timer stutter. If you ever wished for a Beretta that could run with the big dogs in the race gun world, the 92X Squallo is the answer. This ain't your old man's M9. This is a full-blooded shark with a trigger. I've always had a soft spot for the underdog, and this one comes out swinging like it's got something to prove. The Tizas PX 57 is hands down one of the year's biggest surprises. Chambered in 5.7 by 28 mm, this pistol throws a lightning-fast, low-recoil round that's built for pure speed. If you've never sent 5.7 downrange, picture this: you get rifle-like velocity in a handgun-sized package. And the recoil is so gentle, it feels like the gun's doing half the work for you. Now here's what really makes the PX 57 stand out. It isn't trying to show off. It's a straightforward, polymer-framed, delayed blowback workhorse. You've got a standard 20-round magazine, so you're spending less time reloading and more time ripping through drills. The slide moves quick, the trigger's got a crisp break you can feel, and there's barely any muzzle rise to speak of. And for a caliber that usually comes with a pretty steep price tag, Tizas somehow manages to get this one out the door at a price that feels like you're getting away with something. When you pick it up, the grip's surprisingly natural for a 5.7. Most pistols in this caliber feel awkward, but not this one. Tizas clearly put some thought into the ergonomics and how it manages recoil. The whole setup feels balanced and just plain right, especially when you're moving from target to target or hammering out controlled pairs. After running it on steel at 15 yards with a red dot, I was honestly floored at how easy it was to keep hits tight. It's got the feel of a purpose-built competition pistol, not some bargain blaster. If you're curious about 5.7, don't let this one slip by. Might not have the big brand name, but when it comes to plain shootability, the PX 57 more than earns its place at number 7. Now, this one's a little personal for me. The Daniel Defense H9 is what you get when a cult favorite gets dragged back from the grave, but this time with a chip on its shoulder. If you remember the original Hudson H9, you'll recall it had a loyal bunch behind it and a bore axis so low folks couldn't stop talking about it. But it had its fair share of problems too, the kind that'll sink a company right into bankruptcy. Fast forward to the year 2024, and Daniel Defense did what nobody saw coming. They brought it back, ironed out the kinks, and turned it into something worth talking about. So, what's the secret recipe? It's still striker-fired and still chambered in 9mm, but the real magic is that bore axis. It sits so low, it just about hugs the palm of your hand. That keeps the muzzle from flipping up, it just pushes straight back into your arm, giving you wild control and split times that almost feel like cheating. You've got a 15-round magazine, deep-cut slide serrations, and a flat-face trigger that's short, sharp, and gives you great feedback. The frame's aluminum, so it's got just enough weight to soak up the snap without weighing you down. When you run drills, this pistol feels almost second nature. It points easy, runs quick, and has that old-school 1911 grip blended with the no-fuss feel of a modern striker. Honestly, it's a breath of fresh mountain air. It stands out when everything else feels like another polymer copycat. Daniel Defense didn't just bring back the H9, they juiced it up and sent it back out swinging. If you want a sidearm that's not just built for speed, but feels made for folks who appreciate the finer details, this one's for you. It's smooth, it's sharp, and it's back with something to prove. I know what you're thinking. Another Glock, huh? Really? But hang on a minute. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill plastic wonder. The Glock 49 MOS is like finding a secret track that hits harder than the original. What Glock did here was mash together the best of the 17 and the 19. You get the full-length slide from a Glock 17 paired up with the compact grip of a Glock 19. And let me tell you, it changes the whole game for control, speed, and how easy it is to carry. Here's why that matters. The longer slide gives you more sight radius, better control over muzzle flip, and just a smoother ride on recoil, all without the bulk you'd get from a full-size grip. So your draw stays quick and tidy, but your follow-ups are a whole lot flatter than you'd expect. And since it's an MOS model, you can drop your favorite red dot on there straight out of the box, no fancy gunsmithing or hassle. The 49 just felt, well, right. Faster sight recovery, quicker on those target shifts, and you get that same old reliable Glock trigger that's decent as is. But easy as pie to upgrade if you want. It's low profile, doesn't make a fuss, and isn't trying to show off. But the second you put it on the timer, you get why folks are calling it a bit of a cheat code. It's like Glock finally took the hint from what serious shooters have been cobbling together for years and just built it right from the factory. It's simple, it's slick, and it's sneaky fast. And for a pistol that looks pretty plain, it flat out runs like a prize horse. All right, now we're really firing on all cylinders. Sitting at number 5, we've got a true competition legend, the CZ Shadow 2. If you've ever dipped your boots into USPSA or IDPA, you already know this pistol's name gets spoken with a whole lot of respect. And for good reason. It's hands down one of the flattest, fastest, and most controllable production pistols ever made. There's nothing flashy about it, no tactical nonsense, just honest-to-goodness engineered performance. This one's all steel, right around 3 pounds of it, with the weight pushed up front to keep muzzle rise in check like it's nothing. The high beaver tail and that undercut trigger guard let you choke up right next to the bore axis, giving you laser-sharp control. Doesn't matter if you're sending 1 round or a dozen, that front sight barely twitches. That's real-deal speed. The double-action, single-action trigger is the real star of the show. Double-action pull is a smooth 8.5 pounds, but the single-action drops down to a crisp 3.5. With hardly any take-up and a reset so short, it feels like the gun's reading your mind. You'll be rattling off follow-ups before you even realize it. The slide serrations are deep and easy to grab, and the front strap checkering is pure competition grade, grippy enough to keep you locked in without chewing up your hands. You get a fiber optic front sight for quick picks and extended mags to keep you running hard. If you're not fast with this pistol, I'll tell you right now, it's not the gun's fault. This is a masterpiece for folks who eat, sleep, and breathe precision and speed. Coming in hot at number 4, we've got the how on earth is it this good for this price pistol, the Canik SFX Rival S. Canik's been quietly climbing the ladder for years, but with the Rival S, they didn't just walk through the door, they Caniked it off the hinges. This is a full metal, optics-ready, competition-grade sidearm that runs like a $2,000 custom race gun, but for a fraction of the money. Let's talk about the frame first. It's steel, hefty, and rock solid, and that extra weight really shows up when you're firing off quick splits. The slide's ported, trimming down the moving mass and letting it cycle faster. Fiber optic sights are standard, and the slide's already cut for red dots right from the get-go. They even toss in multiple optic plates with it. Can't say I've seen that at this price point before. Now the trigger, you're looking at a flat-faced aluminum setup with a 90-degree break that's about as crisp and repeatable as they come. CANIK's triggers have always been a cut above, but this one's probably their finest work yet. The reset is short, clean, and predictable, just what you want for fast pairs and keeping those shot strings tight. Controls are fully ambidextrous, and the magwell's flared out, making reloads about as easy as pie. Right out of the box, you're getting extras, spare magazines, aluminum base plates, a mag loader, cleaning tools, the works. CANIK doesn't just hand you a pistol, they give you the whole setup. I've run this thing on steel and paper, pushed it fast, and it keeps up with pistols costing twice as much. If you're looking to run hard without running your wallet dry, the Rival S is your huckleberry. This one was made for the winter circle. If you've ever sat around wondering what you'd get if aliens cooked up their own handgun, well, turns out they did, and it landed at number 3. The Laugo Alien is straight out of a science fiction flick, only it's real and, frankly, scary good. This Czech-built space gun doesn't look or run like anything else out there. There's no slide riding over the frame, no tilting barrel, just pure performance, no shortcuts. It's got the lowest bore axis of any handgun on the planet. We're talking so low, the barrel's riding right above your trigger finger. That keeps recoil from flipping the muzzle, it just pushes back in a straight line, leaving you with almost no muzzle rise. It's so flat, it's almost spooky. Add in a fixed barrel and a fixed top sight rail so your front sight doesn't budge when the slide cycles and you get tracking. That's about as good as it gets for rapid fire. The Alien's gas-delayed blowback setup makes recoil even softer, and the slide mass is so light it's wild. Shooting it feels like running a souped-up .22, only you're sending real 9mm rounds downrange. And the trigger? It's smooth, short, and lightning fast, no grit, no wall, just pure go. The grip angle's its own animal, but once you settle in, it starts to make perfect sense. You even get swappable top rails for irons or optics, so you can swap out the whole upper in just a couple minutes. Sure, it'll set you back about $5,000, but let's be real if you're shopping for a handgun that laps the competition. The Alien's the Lamborghini of pistols. It's not for everybody. It's for folks chasing the very top end of what a pistol can do. All right, this is the one that'll have your shot timer calling in sick. Rolling in at number 2 is the Staccato XC. And trust me, this isn't just a pistol, it's a flat-out performance machine. Built on the tried-and-true 2011 platform, the XC packs in everything you could want from a competition or duty gun. Soft recoil, lightning-fast recovery, and precision that borders on unreal. So what makes it stand out? Let's start with the built-in compensator. This isn't some bolt-on part, it's cut right into the slide and barrel, and it works like a charm. It sends gases up and out, taming recoil and keeping your sights steady as a fence post. That means you're moving between targets faster, squeezing off quicker splits, and landing more shots on target in less time. The 5-inch barrel gives you better velocity and a longer sight radius. The slide's been trimmed down with lightning cuts, so it cycles fast but doesn't bounce around. And the trigger, a 2.5-pound, single-action, Marvel, breaks clean and resets quick as a snap. Every pull feels sharp, sure, and built for speed. Naturally, it's ready for optics and ships with Staccato's own adapter plate, so you can run whatever red dot suits your fancy. Add in a steel frame, a crisp grip module, and a short dust cover, and you end up with a pistol that balances in your hand like it was made just for you. This gun makes you faster, tighter, and just plain better. No wonder you see the best shooters running these at matches and on duty. If you're after the most complete, ready-to-run race pistol out there, no need for a custom job. This is the one. Yep, you probably saw this one coming. The Glock 19 is the peanut butter and jelly of concealed carry plane. Dependable. And just always seems to fit. It flat out works. Small enough to disappear under a t-shirt, but big enough to handle trouble if it ever comes knocking. 9mm 15+1 rounds, 4-inch barrel, striker fired, and simple as a fence post. You're not buying this to look pretty, you're buying it to stay breathing. That grip's got some chunk to it, might feel odd at first, but after a couple mags, it just feels right. Recoil's nothing to worry about. Hitting what you aim at? No problem at all. Controls? Couldn't be simpler. Honestly, you could probably teach a raccoon to run this gun. Now sure, the factory sights are just about worthless. Think cereal box prize bad, but who cares? Swap them out. Aftermarket options are endless. Night sights, red dots, threaded barrels, rainbow unicorn slides, if you're into that. Glock's got a whole shed full of parts for you. Reliability is where it really earns its keep. I've put more rounds through this pistol than I've eaten tacos all year, and that's saying something. It's been dropped, banged around, run dry, shot in the bitter cold and the heat, and it just keeps plugging along. Price usually runs about $500 to $600, give or take, depending on the shop and how gussied up you want it. Still one of the best deals out there. If I had to pick just one pistol to carry for the rest of my days, this be the one. Not the flashiest choice, but it's the one that won't let you down when it matters.